Kyrie Irving, one of the young superstars in the league, with yet another heartbreaking, well, this time a broken kneecap in end of game one of the NBA Finals. Growing trend in the league, but let's talk about Kyrie. I mean, he had one of the games of his life. I don't think people realize statistically.
Played defense.
I mean, that block on Steph Curry, what I thought was one for the ages, but 23 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, all before just collapsing and then going off the court, throwing his jersey down. I mean, it's nothing going right for this guy.
No, it's brutal, and you know, Cleveland was the underdog before that happened.
Yeah.
And there were questions on how, Kyrie would guard Curry and stuff. I thought he did a great job. He's hitting shots. His isolations were great. It was pretty much just a Kyrie and LeBron isolation show for that game. If LeBron hits that last second shot, we're not going overtime.
Yeah.
And then maybe Kyrie lives to play another game.
That's the basketball gods for you, though.
It's a tough one. I mean, Kyrie, it's been a tough year, right, having to adjust. He was the man last year bringing in the best player of the game, LeBron James bringing in Kevin Love. A lot of adjustment for young players. He was used to having it his way. He was the man at Duke. He was the man in Cleveland. And you know what? I don't think I don't know. I want to say one way or another that it would have affected the series. I think it would have been a very close series. I think Vegas and all them still had Golden State up a bit. But right now, you're Cleveland. You gotta be worried.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. And let's look at that game specifically with Kyrie. He said he had to will himself to play. He had, 9 or 10 days off, facing a barrage of injuries. I mean, he's borderline entering Derrick Rose territory.
You can definitely see him hobbling on quite a few plays.
I saw a graphic of his injuries the first few years, and it's literally just places all over his body. I mean, he's had some major surgeries, major ailments all over the place, but he played 43 minutes, and he had not played more than 30 minutes since May 12th.
And that's 43 not including the overtime.
Yeah.
Well, more or less. But,
and so, apparently after the game, Brian Windhorst with ESPN and other people reporting, people in his circle, including his agent, his father, not exactly at ease with the situation, thinking he should have been, slowly brought along.
Well, they feel he was pressured back.
What do you think? It's the NBA Finals. It's the last year of the season.
Look, of course.
But you have a 23-year-old megastar point guard.
It depends what you're thinking. Are we winning now or winning later? You're in the finals. So look, if this happens in round 1, I think it's a very different discussion than the finals. Right? You're so close you can taste it.
Right.
There's always that pressure because being that age, you do want him to go around for the long haul. You signed him for a 5-year deal. You want him to be healthy and productive. But at the same time, it's hard to get to the finals. It's not a guarantee you're going to be there year on year. So as a fan of the Cleveland Cavaliers and as the organization, you want to maximize your assets. And right now, if he can play, you do want him to. Is it the best play long term? No. I mean, no one's going to argue that. If you have a player who's hurt and telling him to play, that is not helpful. But I just think it was an opportunity thing. They rolled the dice. And unfortunately, I think this could affect Kyrie's career. He's had quite a few injuries, like you were mentioning, and some of these are pretty devastating. I mean, we saw Greg Oden with a kneecap.
Yeah, and then there was an NFL player tweeting about how, you really don't listen to your agent, don't listen to specialist doctors. Grant Hill has said the same sentiments. Listen to your own body. That's the most important thing. You have to have that relationship
but
with your body.
But there's that pressure, right? Because if your doctor clears you and the team knows about this, they're like, well, why are you playing then?
Yeah, and Derrick Rose, that's been an issue for a long time. So it's kind of peer pressure the way it kind of, you have to do this. And then with social media, there's the whole rest of the world beating down on you as well. So it's
a spotlight because he's a superstar as well, right? If this was Iman Shumpert or James Jones or any of the many other players they have, I don't think we would have seen them. But because they're already lacking a major scoring punch in Kevin Love, they needed to keep up with a high-powered offense that is the Golden State Warriors, and I just think they felt so pressured. And you know what? As much as you want to listen to your body, there's that team mentality, and you do want to produce for the guys who've been fighting for the all season. Would I have told him to sit? I think yes, because it was only game 1, and while, like we spoke about last show, it was crucial to win game 1, as this is going to be a tough thing for Cleveland. it's one of those plays that I would have almost rather taken the loss and know he gets that little bit extra rest.
Right.
Personally, I would have sat him just because I know he's that important and you can't have situations like what just happened happen again.
Something that just came to my mind is that he could have taken himself out of the game. And a scenario, it's not exactly the same thing, but everyone still rags on Scottie Pippen for taking him out during that migraine game, for taking himself out of the game. You know,
well, when you're not producing, but at the same point, like, there's a difference between not going to war with your friends or your teammates and going to war but then leaving in the middle of it, right? It changes your game plan. It changes a lot. And I think at the same point, he's young, he has competitive fire, wants to. I mean, any guy who would challenge Kobe Bryant to a game of one-on-one has that killer mentality, wants to win.
Yeah.
So I think while the team pressured him, I think he put just as much pressure on the side.